Hey, Mark,
It's
where we
Chef
at?
Mark. Chef
Oh,
Mark.
excuse me, Chef Mark.
Thank you, Chef Mark.
Yeah, yeah,
God help us. We get through tonight.
we'll be fine. I'm pretty sure of that.
Welcome everybody in like you always do, Lyle.
That's right. We're glad to see everybody in here. We got more coming along. We'll visit a little bit and then we'll get started.
Look at this. I see all sorts of people in here. So far, I see Bugman in here. I see Brian B. Catfish it. Hey, don't laugh at Chef Mark. It is what it is. There's Lisa, Burrito Catfish Lady, Wabash Nate, Crappie Day Darren. What's going on, Darren? How you doing? I see Up in the Aaron. What's going on, Aaron? How you doing? Crappie Day Darren again. That's what we got in here so far.
Oh, there'll
Did
be
I steal
more.
the hat? I didn't steal this hat. I bought this Amazon, $7.99,
That's
just for
cheap
you guys.
enough.
Just for you guys.
That's cheap enough.
Give me something to look at. So, what's the weather like out by you, Lyle?
Been raining all day.
Uh, Actually, it rained in the morning and then it stopped. It cooled off a little bit. We're looking, I don't know. I think we had a high of like 72 degrees today, which isn't too bad. I'm
70.
thinking about, yeah, I'm thinking about going fishing again tomorrow night. It's going to drop down into the 50s again. So we're back. The Illinois weather's back to its same old shenanigans, but it is what it is. We'll see what we did. I had a good time. Fished all night on, what was it, on Tuesday? No, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? No, it was
Nope.
Monday. Monday
It was
night
Sunday.
after Catfish Weekly.
Yep.
And I want to thank you for jinxing me because for about 2 hours I had catfish killing my bait or channel cats.
Really?
Yep,
Oh, I hate that.
I blame you on it.
Okay.
I got to drown my sorrows.
But you did catch a nice fish.
Yeah, I did get one. I missed three. One, the hook turned in on it, which will happen. The other one just let go. It short struck the bait. I saw the scrape marks on the bluegill. And the last one, I felt the hook come loose halfway through the fight. Um, I could feel it. I don't know. I'm guessing it was hooked in the pad because I could feel kind of a rough spot when it let go. So it is what it is. There's signs of life. So I was happy to see him. So I'm gonna try and get back out there. I need bait though. I was using like 8 and 9 inch bluegill, big bluegill. So
Them are big.
that one short strike could have been just a smaller one. Not that they ever have a problem getting those baits down, but
No.
it is what it is.
Flathead's
I'm
not
gonna,
so big.
yeah, they're pretty big. They'll force it down. I've caught flathead before, small ones where they've tried to choke down a big bluegill, and the hook was never set in them, but the fins on the bluegill kind of wedged themselves inside the fish and able
Right.
to get it all the way to the boat. I even boat flipped it in there, and it didn't let loose. I just stick my hand down its gullet and fold them fins back in to get the bait out. But
There you
um,
go.
that bluegill was dead though. Once I pulled it out, it clobbered it pretty hard. So.
Yeah, that's kind of how that works usually.
Yeah, pretty much. The one I did catch, and some of the people I see in chat here were in the stream. The thing it fought like a linebacker. I thought it was a heck of a lot bigger. It weighed in at like 23 and some ounces, but it felt like a 30-pound fish. I was excited to catch it nonetheless, but it was quite the fighter. It did have what looked like a broken tail at some point in its life. Right along the back, it had like a little indent in it, which was kind of odd, but it was fun. It was a good night. It was a long night. It wasn't too cold. The wind kicked up, blew all the bugs out, which I can't complain about.
Heck no, I
Um,
like that.
yeah, got to thank everybody who was in there that gave me super chats. You guys are awesome. It's always overwhelming when I get that kind of stuff. It's very well appreciated. And
You know,
that pretty much sums up the night.
you since you're cooking tonight, have,
Hmm.
is there any restaurants around your area that makes like made right sandwiches?
Never even heard of a made right sandwich, Lyle.
It's like ground hamburger on a bun that's got different kinds of spices in it.
Like a chopped beef. They make them at some places. They'll put some ground beef down and chop it up, season it, maybe even put some onion in it, and then
Yeah,
they'll throw a piece of cheese over it and serve it on a hamburger bun. Yeah, we got some
right.
places like that. There's a
This
good.
there's a place in Hannibal that is uh, they've changed the name. It's called the Made Right. It's Made Right, and they was the best I've ever had at a restaurant or something like that. I'm gonna turn that other light off here in just a second. But there's a place here in town that has some. I went and got them a while ago, and it was okay. Um, but they were sweet. I never had them where they were
Sweet, huh?
Yeah, pretty
Was
good.
was it a Greek place? Because I know a lot of Greek recipes call for a little bit of sweetness and some cinnamon of all things whenever they're cooking any of their meat. So,
No, I wouldn't. I don't think so. But
huh.
hell, I don't know.
Could be, so many restaurants. Like my good friend Pete owns the Annex here in town. Is the name of the restaurant. Real good guy, Greek guy. His whole family's Greek. They all own restaurants. It just runs in their blood or something, and I mean
Right.
that in the kindest way. Me and him, when we went out, he has a Taco Tuesday at his restaurant, so we were out there yesterday. And man, those were good. Me and Pete talk a lot. I bring him fish whenever I have it. He's real appreciative. He even offered up. We may be going to Greece. He's got a lot of family, and he's got 2 homes in Greece. So he says if we ever want to go out that way, he'll set everything up. We'll just pay whatever Airbnb that he usually charges. So that was
That's
kind of
cool.
interesting.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he was. That would sound like a definite adventure. It beats staying at a resort or something. So we're kind of looking forward to that. So big shout out to Pete over at the Annex. He's a good dude. I like
Very
him a
good.
lot.
Troy with Real and Virtual Outdoors says, "What is Chef Boyardee cooking?"
Chef was cooking fish. Troy. I knew they were going to give me some stuff. Let me look at the comments here so I can witness it myself. What's up, Chef Beal? How you doing? Kind of nice rainbow trout for bait. Very nice. I never had any look. There's Lance. What's up, Lance? There's Heather Stokes. How you doing? Let me see. And Joe Bucks in the house. Well, Lyle, we might need to get started here because I got to do a couple of things that take just a little bit of time. So I kind of waited until we were done so we can get started. So we're going to start up.
How about I put you on solo screen?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. That'll work.
Whoops,
All right,
wrong
folks.
one. How about that?
Perfect. You guys notice I'm wearing my Ched's Barbecue t-shirt. I'm a
Oh
big
yeah,
fan of that
have
channel.
one of those. I ain't got one of them.
I got my official taste tester too. You see her down there?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Once they start getting samples, I bet you the other one comes down. So stay tuned for that. So he's inspired me, but I'm doing them one dog better. I got 2 samplers. So all right, we're gonna start with the bluegill here. I got bluegill. Guess where this was caught at, Lyle?
Mendota Lake.
Mendota Lake, absolutely.
Down
Vacuum sealed.
Ernie Brown. Crappie Day Darren.
Vacuum sealed and dated, the whole deal. I got the number of fillets in the bag. This way, I'm trying to get more organized. I'm grabbing some paper towels because I like my fish to be dry. I'm going to turn the camera down here in just 1 minute. Let me get this stuff out of the bag and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, let me get this camera turned down so you guys can see. Hopefully, I'll be able to tell what I'm doing here. Are we in the center there, Lyle?
Pretty close.
Close
You
enough.
could go down a little more if you can, but
I can.
that will work.
I definitely can.
What do you got in the bowl there?
That's going to be one of the toppings for the taco salad. I'll explain that in a minute. We've got to get this done. Let's see if that did. I'm looking at it on my iPad. There's definitely a lag. Did that get any better, Lyle? Or yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
the fish is
pretty
right
good.
here. Really good. I pan off the fish. I like it dry.
Me too.
Now this is how my grandmother used to make fried fish on my mom's side. She was a cook. My grandfather was a merchant marine, and he met my grandmother while he was working on that ship. She was a cook. She cooked for 90 people, and this is how they make fried fish for the most part in their part of the world. So we got some fillets here. What I do is always pan them off. All that water does is create steam. There's enough moisture inside the fish. It creates steam and it'll soften the breading up or whatever you're putting on it. You don't want that.
That's
So
right.
I like to get the fillets in there in the bowl. Give me 1 second here. I'm kind of low on the redfish magic, but that's okay. And I'll season it before I do the next step. I'll do some layers. I'm making 3 dishes tonight, folks. It's just me and the wife, and I eat most of the fish in the house. So they're going to be smaller portions. I'm not making a whole full mess of fish. That I'm going to have to give away. Actually, my mom already is probably going to get some of this. All right, so we got what 6? I think 6 bluegill fillets, nice size fillets. They're as big as any crappie fillets that I've had. So I get them in a bowl and I'll season them up. I'll put salt and pepper in there, usually depending on what treatment I'm giving them or what kind of bread I'm giving them. This one, look at this, Lyle. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Sour cream.
You know they call it sour for a reason, right?
Well, a lot of people soak their fish in buttermilk, especially in the South.
Right.
Well, sour cream has the same lactose that sour cream does. So basically, what it does is there's a chemical effect on the fish. I did wash my hands before we started this. There's a chemical reaction on the fish that gets rid of any fishy taste, gets rid of any bad flavors or whatever, and it's also a great base. If you can see, it doesn't take a lot. This stuff's really covered up. The reason why I wanted to do this first is because this needs to sit in here for a few minutes. Not a long time. I'm washing my hands. Forgive me, folks. They're covered in sour cream. The lactic acid, that's the word I'm looking for. Definitely does a good job on the fish, just like buttermilk would do. So we're going to let this sit in here. And these are going to be for the fish tacos that I'm making. And I like my fish tacos with Asian slaw. I just went out to Walmart and got their marketplace Asian style. It's fine. I didn't, my mom will cut all the veggies when she makes hers, which is really good. It's not a bad idea to wash this stuff when you first get it. It is what it is today because we're kind of pressed for time. Just dump that in a bowl. Comes with the package. Stuff's pretty simple. It comes with little shells and some. What is in there? Nuts. I think there's some nuts in there. Pour all that in there. Simple stuff. Just cook it out of a bag. This is nothing you need to be a pro chef to do, but it's pretty darn good. Get the dressing over it. The reason why I do this is because I like the dressing to sit on there for a little while. I don't know why oh, hold on a second. That's my deep fryer going off.
So that means your grease is up to temperature, right?
It is. It came down a couple of degrees, but it'll set right back up. All right.
What
So
what temperature are you cooking your fish in tonight?
I always set it to either 365 or 375.
Okay.
This is an older deep fryer. I actually got this deep fryer, or actually my wife got this deep fryer as a wedding gift. So we've had it forever. It's always run, but it works well. 350 is the perfect temperature to fry fish at, if you ask me, Lyle. But when you throw cold fish in hot oil, it's going to bring the temperature down.
It sure does.
And when you're cooking fish like the fish I'm cooking today, which is fairly thin, it needs time. It'll cool the temperature down a little bit, which is why I'm only at 365, and the fryer will recover. So look at that. That looks pretty good, doesn't it, Lyle? Check that out.
Yes, it does.
Let me taste and see if it needs any salt or pepper.
Welcome, Mike Irwin.
I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper in there, Lyle.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually really good. A little bit of kosher salt. Some fresh cracked pepper. I like a lot of pepper. Lyle, how about you?
Yes.
Some pepper. We'll mix this up again. Now, if you let this sit for a while, the flavors are going to meld. They're going to meld together, and you'll be good. So, boom. That's going to be for our fish tacos. We'll set that off to the side.
Smallwater has joined us.
What's going on, Smallwater? There's the fish still in this sour cream. I just tasted that sour cream. That's pretty good. I like sour cream. Well, all right. We'll throw a little more seasoning in here. All right. Now,
and what kind of seasoning is that again?
It's that redfish magic. Okay. I got some redfish magic today. Black and redfish magic. I don't have much left, but this stuff's good. We're going to use this up. And then I also have some, this is the Chef Paul Bourbon. This is seafood magic. They taste pretty close to one another, so you can't go wrong with that.
Okay. Melissa says hello, Lyle and Chef Mark.
Hello, Melissa. How you doing? All right. So now I'm going to I have one of those fillet shakers. You ever see those things, Lyle?
Yes.
but I don't have enough fish to justify using one. So we're going to use your run of the mill Ziploc 1 gallon bag.
That's what I usually use.
Yeah, it's pretty much foolproof. Even though those fish shakers, Lyle, if you're cooking a lot of fish, they're awesome. I just threw regular all-purpose flour. We'll season the crap out of it with some more of this redfish magic, right?
Right.
And hold on, let me grab something out of the cupboard here. All right. We got some 16 mesh black pepper. This is a little, let me show you guys this.
That's
This is a
coarse,
little,
isn't it?
it's a little coarser, but when you cook it, it miles it out. The coarser pepper isn't as bad as the other one. So let's throw some of that in here. Not only does it taste good, it actually looks good to see those pepper flakes in there.
You have a taste tester under your feet.
I know they're ready. They're always around here when I'm cooking. We're gonna go in with some more kosher salt. You gotta be careful not to over salt or under salt. You can always put more in, you just can't take it out. Everybody
That's
says
right.
that. So what I do is I'll just mix this up. You guys know the drill. This is nothing. This isn't rocket science. We'll give this fish one more stir, get that seasoning around in there. But you see, that's pretty much all it takes. You just got to make sure that fish is coated all the way through. Then you
Right.
take your fillets, throw them in a bag, just like you would anything else.
Melissa
You don't want
says,
to.
go ahead.
You don't want to overcrowd the bag, definitely. But we don't have that many fillets here, so all of them should fit in here. What's up, Melissa?
Melissa says, Ernie, hope Chrissy's feeling better. I hope she's feeling better too. Great lady there.
I hope Ern's feeling better too. I like to get a little air in the bag before I close it. Gives it room to tumble around in. All right. Just toss it around. I'm sure everybody that's in here is an angler that's ever had a fish fry has done this.
I'd be shocked if they didn't.
I'm telling you. It's so there's two schools of thought. Some people like to leave the breading sit on the fish, pull it out, and leave it sit, to kind of firm up a little bit. I can't really tell the difference, but I've done it both ways. So whatever works for you, go ahead and do that. But make sure it's thoroughly covered. All right. So this is what they look like when they come out. They're nice and coated, nice and good. So we're going to
Great.
start frying. We're going to start frying these up, Lyle. Let me turn the camera so you guys can watch me throwing them. Let me know when you got it in view there.
Can you go a little higher?
I can. How about that?
That's perfect.
All right. This high dollar production that we got going on here. Come on. I think I can. And of course, my camera's kind of giving my mount. How's that, Lyle? Can you see what's going on?
I can see.
All right. So here's the fish. I drop them in slowly, one at a time. The oil's at 365. They're bubbling away. Right. Now, when you're cooking with flour for a breading, you want to make sure to cook the flour taste out. It's not like cornmeal that's already been cooked, because it's already been processed.
Right.
You don't want your fish to taste like flour. So
No.
keep that in mind when you're cooking, when you're selecting what you want to put on your fish. If you got really super thin fillets, right, you definitely don't want to do that. This might be crowding a little bit, but I think I only got the one left, so it'll have to do. Oh, that looks so pretty. I hope you guys can see that. I need more light in my kitchen, so all right, that's done. I can get rid of this. Let me wash my hands here real quick, Lyle.
Lance Baku guy says the only thing better than deep fried bluegill is bacon wrapped oven baked bluegill.
Cheers,
That does
everybody.
sound pretty good.
That does sound good. All right, I'm going to move this here, my cutting board, real quick. Now, Lyle, when you pull your fish out of a deep fryer, what do you do with it? Do you do anything with it spectacular, or do you
Not
just kind
really.
of?
I just set it on paper towels.
Yeah, paper towels works, but what I found works even better, keeping it crispy, is putting them on. If you have like a cookie, well, not a cookie sheet, but what are they called? A cookie rack. A lot of
Yep.
people have them in their house. Or I use these for when I make beef jerky. I use these. I'll drop this in a cookie sheet and I'll let them sit so they're not sitting directly on anything.
Right.
Kind of holds them off, and that keeps them from getting soggy on the underside.
Usually the first batch or so that comes out, there are not too many of them make it. I usually, you know,
I
have to
understand. I
taste test.
understand.
I thought you would.
We'll let this cook a little bit. All right, so we're almost done with this one. Let me get some tortillas out here.
Small Water Charter says, "What you drinking, Mark? Flavor of the day."
I am drinking a Woodford Reserve Old Fashioned adult beverage. Drink responsibly. Good stuff. And the only reason why I have it is because one of my dishes tonight requires it. All right, just a regular flour tortilla. Actually, these are even the carb balance ones. These are pretty tasty. I like them.
Lance says, "Baking racks."
Baking it. Yep, that too. All right, these are still cooking. I'm gonna warm this tortilla up on a. I usually warm the tortillas up on a. Just right over the fire on the stove, but since I need them to be kind of pliable to wrap that fish up, I'm gonna do it right over on a cast iron pan.
Crappie Day Darren says, "Lyle, that's called quality control." I agree 100%. The only thing that I eat more of when I cook outside than the first round of fish is hot dogs if I'm doing something with on a grill. I do like me some hot dogs that are warmed up over an open fire. Of course, I have been known to eat them right out of the package too.
You eat them out of the can too, don't you, Lyle?
I do.
Now I'm making 3 types of fish today, so I really didn't consider making any sides. This is, got the Asian slaw with it, so I guess that could be considered a side. But when I cook my my catfish, I usually like the steamed vegetable or grilled asparagus are pretty good with that, or with the salmon I'm going to be cooking. If I got the deep fryer out, you can always throw some frozen fries or tater tots in there. I like to dice up some red potatoes and cook them in there. Those are freaking delicious. Over season
Yeah,
them, put all sorts of Cajun spice on them. You can't go wrong with those. Those are so
exactly.
good. All right, these are just about done. All right, let me flip that tortilla before I burn it. Oh yeah, that's coming along really good. And now what I look for when I'm cooking fish is the it's the sizzle is slowing down. That means a lot of the moisture is getting out of the fish. You don't want it to just die, because then your fish will be dry. So obviously, like any good fry cook, put the fries in the bag, Mark. Let that drip in there for a few seconds.
And he said, "Saw where you can put smaller tortillas in a toaster.
Oh yeah, well you fold them in half. That's pretty good.
Fold
You
them
can
in
make
half and put them in a
you,
toaster."
yeah, you can fold them in half and drop them in a toaster. So here you go. That's a regular tortilla. That's already one. So here, Lyle, let me dump these out so I can show you guys what they look like. Now tell me that
Man,
doesn't look pretty
I
good.
tell you what we need here. What we need is smell-o-vision, or better
Oh
yet,
my, oh
taste-o-vision.
Lyle, this smells. And I'm not even tooting my own horn. Look, nice bluegill, nice
Oh
white
yeah,
flesh meat.
looks
Mm.
awesome, man.
Oh my God, fun. Oh, hold on,
Small
I'm
Water
eating.
Trotter says thin sliced taters are his side. Homemade tater chip. That's
You
right. There,
see,
that looks good. Yeah.
you see how this is halfway between a batter and a breading? That's why I like doing this so much.
Heck yeah. Hi, Chrissy. Glad to see you made it in. Hope you're feeling well.
Okay, easy part now. Mm-mm-mm.
Now,
Try not to talk.
does Sheila know you're taste testing them before you give her hers?
Yeah, she's like, go ahead. She'll eat when we're done.
Oh,
Take your fish, throw it in your thought. Easy. This is like so easy. Even Brian B can do it.
even Brian B.
Yep.
Wow.
Just load that up. Wow, that's a good amount of fish. Oh my God. I keep stuffing this in my mouth without thinking. There's a slaw. Throw some of that Asian slaw in there. It
We
doesn't
can't
take
see
much.
what you're doing, Mark.
Oh, sorry. Let me turn this around here.
Tilt you down a little or something.
How's
Yeah,
that? Can
that'll
you
work
see that?
too.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
So dropping some of that Asian slaw in there. It don't take much. Put as much as you like. And then I like to finish them off with like even a homemade or a store-bought, like a taco sauce. This stuff's pretty good. This Hidden Valley Ranch taco sauce. The Guy Fieri stuff is pretty good.
I
So
have an idea.
drizzle some of that on there, and you're good to go. That's going to be good eating.
I have an idea for that. Would be good.
What's that?
Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah, definitely Frank's Red Hot. Look at that. That's a monster fish taco. How's that look,
That
Lyle?
is. It looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. So rather than taking a bite out of this and mumbling over the next 5 minutes trying to swallow, we're gonna set it aside. But yeah, this is like one of my favorite easy ways to cook. White fish like crappie and bluegill. Even bass is good in this. Any fish that you catch. So, boom, that's a taco. Normally you'd have more than just the one, but this is like a large tortilla. I couldn't find the small flour ones when I was shopping, so this will work. I'm not gonna complain.
You do know that every bass that you catch and eat is one less that's going to eat your crappie and bluegill, right?
Yeah, that's right. And people say they're tasty. All right, Lyle, why don't we take a short little break before I move on to the next one here?
All right.
Get my camera adjusted. So if you want to come back on screen, you can, buddy.
It really
All
makes
right, there we
no
go.
difference.
And I
I
want
like
to eat
you.
this slaw is pretty darn good, I can say. Don't eat, Mark. I'm just gonna start stuffing my face.
Taste testing is the best part of it.
That sure is. Oh, that's so good. All right, so
Small Water Charter says, "How can he set that aside without taking a bite?"
I know. Trust me, it's not easy. It is not. It's not. It's not. Yeah. It sucks. I don't know what else to say. But the show must go on. I'm a professional. Good thing about crappie and bluegill is it's just as good cold as it is hot. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, could be.
While I'm talking to you, let me go get the catfish out of the fridge. I like to keep my fish cold before I cook it.
Okay.
Catfish. I'm going to need fish. I'm going to need 2 eggs. Uh-oh.
Small Water says, "Looks like Marge Simpson's grandpa."
I have no idea what that even means. Oh, stop it. Quit picking on Lyle like that. Oh, is he talking about me, Lyle?
I think he was.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple of catfish fillets here. There we go. These are from a while back. They're also a Ziploc bag. There's probably quite a bit of fish in here, but we're going to do it. Basically, what I do, we don't need to point this down because you guys know how to crack an egg and do stuff, but all right. I got a couple of Pyrex dishes, some like this, one smaller than bigger, and I'm going to set up like a dredge station. Everybody knows how that's done, except I'm going to do it a little bit different. Well, actually, I'm going to do what I was taught to do because I like my catfish super crispy, Lyle, super crispy.
Yep.
Where's paper towels? You know what? I need a camera person in here.
Burrito Catfish Lady, hello.
All right, so 2 eggs in
Matt,
the fish.
want to be out of doors. Says, "My compliments to the chef."
Thank you, Matt. What is this? This good old-fashioned mustard, right, Lyle?
One of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
There we go. Whatever brand you like. This is French's. I'll put a couple of teaspoons, maybe a tablespoon or 2, in with the eggs. And then I could use Frank's Red Hot, but I have crystals. Not that I like it any better, but this is a bottle that I'm trying to go through to make room in the fridge. It tastes pretty comparable to Frank's, if you ask me.
Okay.
So I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of that in with the eggs too. We'll set that down, and then I'm going to take a short break here. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thirsty.
All right. Yeah, a little bit. Got to quench that thirst. And I'll just
Eddie
beat all that together.
Cross has joined us and says Mark has lost his mind and looks like he belongs in the Simpson family. Pops was kissed by the sun.
My goodness, I have no idea what they're even talking about. Beat them eggs up. Now, a lot of people make their own dredge for catfish and crappie or whatever. Fantastic. Use what you love. I use all sorts of different stuff. Everything from shore lunch to I have Betty's recipe. I use that quite a bit. Actually, I got a whole jar of that stuff here in the fridge. But we're going to use, because I want something spicy. We're using the Whisker Seekers fish fry, the Cajun mix.
Yep.
If you want to try this stuff, you can get 15% off using discount code MCC15. Yeah, all that's good stuff. But this is something a little different. I do. Oh, now I forgot one thing with the bluegill. Now, when you're using flour of any sorts, it's always a good idea to put a tiny bit of baking powder, maybe a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half, in with the flour. It just fluffens it up a little bit. At
Right.
least that's what I think. But I happen to be out, so it's not getting it. It ain't going to kill it. It ain't going to make it taste any worse. It's just something I like to do. Now, this is what that breading looks like, Lyle. You see that in the tub?
Looks good.
I am going to throw a little bit of flour in there, maybe a half a cup.
Okay. Welcome, Guerrero. Glad to see you made it in this evening.
Just a half a cup in there. Kind of bind it all together. Now, we're going to double dredge this, which can be messy. So, hold on. Let me weight this down. Let me know when this is good, Lyle. Can you see that?
I can see it. I'm going
All
to
right, let me see if I can lock this. Let me see if I can lock this in place here.
Now,
Right,
what you're going to do is dredge it through your egg wash and then through your seasoning.
And then back through the egg wash and then back through the seasoning.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to set this stuff aside because I'm going to pull this catfish out, and I'm going to cut it up a little bit. I'm going to cut 2 medium-sized fillets out of it, and I'm going to make some nuggets because I like them both.
Pontoon Jody has joined our chat and says, I'll bet his catfish tastes like crappie.
Yeah, I bet. Jody, you hush.
Glad to see Jody made it.
Now, how do those catfish fillets look to you, Lyle? This is when I use my my method of washing the fillets that a lot of people do. I think they look pretty good.
They look pretty good. They look like channel cat fillets.
That's exactly what they are. I don't have any flathead fillets. I've had flathead once, and that was more than enough. Again, what am I doing here? I'm drying these fillets. Drier fillets.
That's right.
Moisture does not make things
Jody
crispy.
wants her hat back.
You can't have it, Jody. I didn't know Jody had a black chef's hat. Actually, I was going to put a catfish and crappie sticker on here. All right, let's chunk these up. Let me get another paper towel. This is already waterlogged. All right, we'll just cut this one up like that. We'll have 2 larger pieces here. This will be a couple of fish fingers. I'm fine with that. This will do just some whatever cuts, whatever floats your boat. They don't need to be perfect nuggets. It's just cooking. That's all it is. This one we'll cut in half. This one's got a little more heft to it. So we'll do that. Now
Jody says exactly like me, copycat catfish and crappie. Wow.
This one's for you, Jody. You gotta have a drink to deal with her. Oh, my goodness. I will set this aside. We'll grab my dredge station here. Now, I need to mix that up because I didn't mix that up yet. It's a good idea to mix it up. Now, don't be shy to taste something before you fry it. I mean, there's nothing in here that's going to hurt you. You should always taste it for seasoning. That tastes pretty good. Some dredges are a little salty, so you want to make sure. Oh, actually, I should be dipping it in the flour first. Usually, you dip it in flour and then egg, but it seems to be sticking pretty good. All right,
I
there's
got
the
a
first.
private message from someone that sent me a Pringles looking can of Shadalicious Gizzard Shad potato chip.
Yeah, did I post that on Panfish Nation the other day?
You only guess who that might have been?
Oh no, it was bluegill. Bluegill flavored ruffles, I think it was. All right, I double dredged this. I'm looking at it. It didn't stick real great, so I'm going to give it a third dip.
All right.
Why not? We're trying to go super crunchy here. Oh, there we go. All right. We can drop this one right into the oil. This is going to take a little time. There we go. Why isn't it bubbling?
B&B Catfishing. Welcome, Paul. Glad to see you made it in this evening.
All right, the oil kind of dropped in temperature a little bit, so we're going to have to wait until it's done. So we're going to dredge the rest of these and do like people say, leave them lay. Let that breading build up on it. I don't know why this.
35 wonderful people watching tonight. Only 19 thumbs up.
Lyle, I put a poll up in chat.
You did?
I did. What's it say? What kind of results are we getting?
I don't know how to find it from here.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe the people in chat can help you out.
Let me see. Oh, 40% catfish.
Ooh, look at that. Well, then this section of the program is for them.
Absolutely. I distinctly remember a video that Spencer Bauer put out last year, I believe it was, where he had three of his buddies come over and they fried up catfish. He fried up crappie, and he fried up walleye, I believe it was. And they had a taste test. And none of them knew what the kind of fish each was, but he did. Of course, he fixed it. And all three of them, not knowing what they was picking as the best flavored, all chose the catfish.
You know what, Lyle? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, burnt fish all taste the same. Maybe he burnt it.
Oh no, I would agree with them guys. I like the other kind too, but there's nothing like catfish.
Yeah, he did one where it was blue cat, flathead, and channel cat as well, and everybody was picking the channel cat on that one. I remember that one.
That sounds right too. And again, some of that's how it's fixed too.
Yeah. I mean, everything tastes the same. But if you're cooking three of the same kind of fish in the same kind of batter and cooking it in the same oil and stuff, it's kind of hard to go wrong. Okay.
Benoit Outdoors. Welcome, ladies, says Chef Boy Mark and Lyle. Glad to see you all in here tonight. Jody wants to know, is that egg and milk mixture?
It's egg with mustard and Crystal's hot sauce.
If you'd have been on time, Jody, you would have known.
Yeah, she's busy
sleeping.
Okay. Yeah,
a nap does sound pretty good.
All right, we're gonna let this hot oil recover. I don't know why this. Like I said, this thing's like 30 years old. I don't know why it shut off, but we're down to like 284 degrees. So what I'll do is I'm gonna have a cocktail. I'm gonna have a drink about it.
Absolutely.
Maybe
Do you
make
have that
everybody.
like in a pitcher, or do you
Oh no, make them one at a time.
make them one at a time? Okay.
I'm bougie like that, Lyle. You guys know that. Chef Bougie Marks. That's what the new name is, Jody. Don't forget it.
Said she was eating.
Uh-huh. Well, if she cooked it, I wouldn't call it eating.
Oh my!
All right.
I
This
feel a
oil's back.
war starting.
Well, whatever. It's like this anytime.
I
Hi,
know.
Jody. How you doing, dear? What's going on? All right, this oil. We're at 300 degrees. It'll come back up pretty quick. So, what do we got going on in chat? Let me change the camera and see what's going on here.
Okay. Ernie Brown said he needs a deep fryer. He's working on winning one.
They got them.
And
They got those fry daddies at Walmart for really cheap.
yeah. Jody says Booger Mark got it.
I don't know where she got that from.
Bugman says everyone drank old fashions up that way.
Yeah, they make them different in Wisconsin as they do everywhere else. I don't know where the one I'm drinking from is from. But I can give you guys the recipe. No, I won't give you the recipe because mine are kind of famous in the area. Yeah, I don't want to give it up. You need to come down here, up here, and taste it the perfection for yourself, Lyle. We'll have a fish fry of perfection, and a likely winner at the catfish conference, catfish fry probably.
I assume Chrissy's talking about the last deep fryer that they had. She said she got mad and tossed the last one.
This one gets me pretty mad too. Like I couldn't get it to fire up today while I was getting ready for this stream. I went to all this work to get everything else set up just to be abused by chat, but that's another thing. And I had to pull the plug apart and sand down because it's got a magnetic safety plug on the back. So if a kid pulls on the cord, it comes undone. And I just sanded down the connections and it worked really well. It fixed it right up. So
Jody says, Mark, that hat almost looks as good on you as it does me.
I don't. Don't say it, Mark. Don't say it. Well, you hear Jody got a new pontoon boat?
Jody got a new pontoon boat?
Yeah, she bought Kevin Palmetto Cat's pontoon boat. She told me.
Wow. Did
All
not
right,
know that.
I'm dropping this fish in here because we're up to temp. There we go. Now it's frying away. You guys got to see this. Let me know when we're on the fryer, Lyle.
You're on it. You're a little too low where you're at the top of the screen.
How's
there you
that?
go. That's a lot better. A lot better.
All right, let me try and lock this sucker in.
And we can see down in there to see that the fish is frying.
Bubbling away.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got to fix this.
Okay.
This is that good, Lyle, right there?
Yes.
All right.
Chrissy says she's tossed 2 deep fryers like the one Mark is using.
Get you a fry daddy then, Chrissy, because they're not complicated at all. They'll probably last you a long time.
Crappie Day Darren says that hat and beard looks like Chef Johnny from Texas.
Oh, I like Chef Johnny. I actually used to talk to him back in the day via social media and stuff. He's a good dude. We would talk barbecue all the time.
Right.
Oh, look at that filet, Lyle. Look at that.
Oh, baby.
There we go. We're going to drop the rest of this in here in the next batch.
What are you going to do with them? Just eat them like that, or?
Yeah, for the most part. Hot sauce for the good part, but oh my God, that bluegill's so good. Jeez Louise.
I can't believe you're staying off of it.
Lyle, you're missing out, buddy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Did I lose you, Lyle, or did you lose me?
No,
okay.
Neither one.
I didn't hear you.
Not that I know of. Everybody see us both in chat?
Now, mind you, if you buy this Cajun style breading from Whisker Seekers, the last time I had it, it was pretty spicy. So if
Really?
you're not really, if you're not really into a lot spice, I'm gonna, you know what, Lyle? I'll jump on that grenade and I will taste this when it's done and let y'all know. But I remember it being pretty tasty
Okay. You
or
know,
pretty spicy. I mean,
I have noticed that all of the outdoor companies, or the majority of them now, have their own seasoning of some kind.
they do. You know, there's, we were talking. I was talking to Luke Engines up in Mendota last year, and he was talking up that Catch and Cook by Jay Simmons,
Yep.
whatever his
Yep.
name is. And he says it's the best stuff he ever had. But then I got to, I go to look for it, and it's like $30 for like a bag of this stuff. It's pretty
Yeah, that's
pricey,
ridiculous.
and it's shipping's expensive from Canada. And
Yeah.
also, Luke eats rum, so I don't know how much I can trust him.
Well, you got to
All right,
have
Lyle.
something to cover the taste of that crap up. The
Now,
other
Lyle,
thing,
take a look at that.
dude, that's fried to perfection.
That's good, ain't it? Nice and thick and crispy.
Yeah.
Can you hear? Hold on, let me see. You know what? Let me.
Open that up. Let's see how flaky that meat is.
All right, can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Beautiful. Let me taste it. It's super crunchy too.
I bet it's hot.
Oh my God, that is good.
It's hard for me to try a bunch of different stuff because I like Andy so well.
All right. We're going to cook up the rest of this, and then we'll get on to the salmon after that. But oh my God, Lyle, this is good.
Now, are you going to fry the salmon also?
No, I'm going to. All right, now sit tight. Hang in there.
Okay.
Let's not jump the gun, buddy.
I like salmon.
You like this recipe. It's probably got some of your favorite ingredients in it. All right, that's the rest of the catfish.
You know what I like? Food.
Food, shrimp.
Yeah, all the above.
I just came here to dump this breading out in the trash. I walked right by that fish taco, and I almost took a bite. My
Crappie day.
goodness. Look at that, Lyle.
That does look good.
Put a little
922
crystals on there.
Crappie Barbecue says, my deep fry is open fire and cast iron Dutch oven. That sounds great.
I use a cast iron Dutch oven too. The reason why I've been using this lately is because I don't know if you can see this here, Lyle. Can you see this where I'm pointing to?
Yes.
That's a spigot.
To drain the grease.
When I'm done and that oil's cool enough to pour out, all the sediment stops in the back, so I can drain it out. It's pretty much already pretty clean. This is like the second time I'm using this oil. So look at that. I got some hot sauce on here. I got to try
What
this.
kind is that?
Oh, the Crystal's hot sauce on here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It does look really good.
Oh my God.
Easy, big boy. Ernie says every roll fish and mustard in flour and cornmeal.
Yep. That's why I use hot sauce and mustard. Wow, Lyle.
I bet that is good.
If you were here and you were able to taste that, you would call me your number one son forever.
Okay.
I think Betty Jean would even like this.
I got to try some of that one of these days.
Oh my goodness.
Lance says he'll be making 3 pounds of shrimp Friday for some shrimp poor boys. That sounds good too.
Oh, catfish poor boys are fantastic too. Lance, you probably know that already. Oh my God, that's good.
Matt says
I'm going out on a limb, Lyle, and saying this is better than the bluegill. I said it.
Oh, wow. Matt says, is that spatula in your pocket or was that bite just that good?
That bite was that good. That bite was really that good, folks. I'm sorry. Eat in front of you, I know it's rude, but holy smokes, that's good.
Yeah. Wow. You can't eat fried fish and not do some taste testing.
Oh, it makes me so happy, Lyle. I don't know what else to say. This is almost done. Yeah, that double and triple breading it. I have my earphones in, so you can't hear how crunchy it is, but it's pretty dark.
It looked
Don't bite,
very crunchy.
don't bite it, Marcus. You're gonna be mumbling for like 2 minutes. All right. You know, Lyle, I think catfish made it up into my top 2 fried fish after this.
Well, I would think so.
Let that drain. Now I got like one larger piece. I'm gonna get these smaller pieces out. Yeah, I have asbestos fingers, folks. Don't mind me.
922 says I soak fish in the Pete's dredge in milk butter,
Ooh.
bread and fry.
Yeah, anytime you soak in anything milky,
Buttermilk, sorry.
yeah, buttermilk, the lactic acid is what makes fish taste so clean. Look at this, Lyle, a little fish nugget. Look at that.
Oh yeah. I love it when it's flaky like that.
Mm, mm. Okay, so we'll finish these 2 last pieces up and we'll move over to the last entree. Is everybody in chat having fun making fun of me? I hope so. I do this for you.
That looked pretty good to me. Really good. Thirsty?
Yeah, I am, and look, it's empty. But here, I'll these cherries are good stuff.
Look like an olive.
Mm. Luxardo cherries. Don't ask me what they cost. Ask Betty Jean.
Okay.
She was here for that time. She ate almost half my jar, the jar of these things.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna call it quits on this catfish. These are some bigger pieces. They look good. Let me turn off this deep fryer. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I'll be eating the heck out of this.
Okay. It looks good.
Wow. Well, didn't I tell you I was cooking we were cooking the world's best tasting fish today? I'm not wrong.
Okay, good.
You know, a lot of bougie restaurants out there, Lyle. They
I'm a
get
little
what's called,
pissy because I don't get to try it, but you know.
well, here, let me finish what I was saying though. A lot of restaurants out there in the world, they get what's called the Michelin rating, 1, 2, 3, and 4 stars. And once they get one of those, that's like the Pierre de Resistance, whatever. It's like the cream of the crop. And the Michelin Tire Company started that back in the day to get people to travel on their tires more, wear out tires, and sell more tires. But it turned into this big culinary thing. Very bougie, very upscale. Nobody here in this chat or listening to this can probably afford to eat there. And it usually takes like a year to get into one of those restaurants. That being said, I have a BF Goodrich rating of 4.
Wow.
4 off-road tires. That's my BF Goodrich rating of this meal here.
Wow.
Okay, there we go. We got some bluegill down here. Catfish at the top. Which one looks better in chat, folks? Tell me. Can you see that, Lyle?
I can.
All right, you can see that.
I'd like to
All right,
try them
Lyle.
both.
I need to move my camera over to the
Okay.
stove here. So let me disconnect it from here and mount it over here.
Chrissy says they both look tasty. I agree.
Where'd that Brian B go? He was the one that was going to give me a bunch of malarkey. He thinks he's the only one that can cook in the community. I got news for you, bud.
How can he cook? He don't go fishing. How could he ever get the fish?
How is he going to have a fish fry? All right, we are going to cook salmon. Look, here's the taco. How's that look?
It still looks good. Matt says now we can get Mark to wear that hat fishing on a live.
We can probably do that.
Lance says they both look good. It's fried fish. That's right. How can it be wrong?
All right. Now we're going to cook the salmon, Lyle. Give me 1 second here.
Jody says she has no desire to go in any of them fancy restaurants.
Yeah, Jody, okay, Jody. Until you taste it. That's the thing.
Jody, if you go in there, you get a guy like Mark fixing your meal.
I wish them chefs get paid like high dollars. It's crazy.
Yeah. Brian
That's
B
a
says, I'm here working on a graduation flyer.
oh cool. Well, congratulations to the graduate. We got salmon here, folks. We're gonna dry these off like we did the other ones. Actually, first things first, Lyle. Let me know when this is on the stove because I need to start cooking. Here's my. Can you see my stove here?
Down a little bit. There you go. That's pretty good.
All right. Now I'm going to be using 2 burners. We're going to move this over here. We're going to start with the sauce because it's got to reduce a little bit. Wow. Now,
Okay.
2 simple ingredients. Actually, there's 3. What's that right there, Lyle?
Woodward Reserve.
Woodford Reserve. We'll put a little bit in this. Right on the pan. Now, I got to try not to set my house on fire.
Chrissy says, if you want to have a good time, get a bunch of people in the catfish community and go to a buffet. Fair warning, though, if Lyle is there, you better hit the shrimp before he does.
She ain't wrong. She is not wrong.
I do like me some shrimp.
No, Lyle. Then you take like a handful of brown sugar, Lyle.
Okay.
Maybe 2. You want to turn it into like a slurry. Now you got to be careful with this. Once this whiskey starts cooking, you got to get the alcohol to burn off. Now, a
Really?
lot of guys, yeah, a lot of guys want to be fancy and let the stove do it off. I'd rather have a controlled burn, to be honest. So, all
I
right.
would want the alcohol to stay in.
This is cooking. That's why I was enjoying. This burner ain't gonna work.
So it's cooking, not drinking.
This is cooking. You drink while you're doing that. I can make a. Right, this is going to take a little while to reduce. I might have poured too much whiskey. Not that there's ever such a thing.
I can't imagine that.
Dissolve all that brown sugar. We'll get this started. It's also a good idea to throw a little butter in there once you get the alcohol burnt off. Can you still see that? Let me look at my iPad.
Yes, sir.
You can. All right, good deal. I'm going to move this brown sugar out of the way. Why don't I dry off my salmon fillets? Now I'm going to remind everybody that this is Coho salmon that I caught. So it is responsibly harvested and wild caught. So
Greg Burgess says, Mark,
oh,
I
there we go.
love.
It just took off. You see how it's flaming up?
Yep.
The
Greg
alcohol.
says, I love fried salmon patties.
Oh, the salmon patties are good. This is going to be a little different. Look how pretty that is, Lyle.
Yep. Matt says he would take Johnny Walker on the rocks. That's good too.
There's my fire extinguisher going off.
Melissa said good she didn't miss it. Her son called, so he had to be right back.
Hi, Melissa. Welcome. I'll turn fire extinguisher. I put new fire alarms. And God forbid I open up the oven or cook something. They go off all the time.
Yeah.
Now you guys can see how this flame is going out, right? That's because the alcohol's burning off.
Guerrero says your wife's going to kill you using that whiskey on that pan.
Nah, it should be all right. I do the cooking in the house anyway, so.
Coho is the best salmon, in my opinion. Lance McCouguy.
Yeah, that's going to get to be annoying.
You're going to like this one. Jody says, they say I can't cook. Fire, fire!
Jody, fire to cook. That's your problem. Don't you got some moldy baloney to see a doctor about, Jody?
Oh, man. Melissa says, Jody, this is making you want to cook.
Please don't cook, Jody.
The Benoit lady says, had some Alaskan salmon not too long ago.
Like I said, I think I did pour a little bit too much whiskey in there, but it is what it is. We're
It's in
cooking the
there
whiskey
now.
out. Yeah, until all the alcohol cooks off, it's gonna flame up like that. But it
Yep.
is a bourbon forward. You can use I've had it with this recipe with rum, which is also really good. But
I
I didn't
bet.
have I didn't have any rum
I really like
left
rum.
over. I didn't have any good rum to use, so I just used the whiskey. I figured, well, I got to take the whiskey out because I'm going to be drinking it. Might as well cook with it.
That's right. Greg
All right,
Burgess says, Mark, I can't cook without an adult beverage.
that's right, especially when you're doing the boozies type cooking here. All right.
Chrissy Brown says, please don't let Jody cook alcohol.
Yeah, this is true. That could be bad. Cast iron pan. You ready, Lyle? You see that? We're
Yes,
going to
sir.
put that on the fire. Now, here's the important thing with cooking high heat, right? You want to make sure whatever you're using has a high flash point.
Right.
I use this avocado spray oil from Costco. It's got a flash point that's higher than peanut oil. That being said, avocado oil is not only healthy for you, it's also tasteless, like a lot of healthy stuff. So you gotta flavor with something. So basically, I'm gonna do is I got some good butter here. This is actually some Amish butter I got from the store. Good stuff. Put a good nub of that on there. Get that pan ripping hot. Now, while that pan's getting ripping hot, you see this, Lyle?
Yeah.
Got a lemon, right? We're going to cut this lemon in half.
Lance says rum is dangerous in my presence. I drink it instead of cooking with it. I can relate to that.
All right. Getting this pan ripping hot now. And I don't know, can you see this little pan right here, Lyle?
Yes.
It's bubbling away. I'm thickening up that sauce. I'm reducing it, turning it into a glaze. If you don't want to do this, you can also use maple syrup. I would reduce it a little bit too. That works good with salmon for sure. Now, we're going to blacken this salmon, and I'm going to use the seafood magic. I like the redfish magic, but we're out of that. We use that on the other fish. So we're going to blacken this. We're going to give it a lot of seasoning on here. And can you see that, how much I have on there, Lyle?
You got plenty on it, yeah.
I'm putting more on even. That's why I wanted to show that to you. That ain't enough. Get it on both sides.
Says some blackberry brandy would go good with that.
Oh, heck yeah.
70% alcohol.
70 proof. 70% is 140 proof. All right, so we got the salmon. We got it very well seasoned. Now, you see this lemon, Lyle? I'm putting this lemon right on the pan.
Explain, please.
We're going to caramelize this lemon. When you cook a lemon, it gets sweeter.
Really?
Yep. So you want to get that lemon started on there. Not only will it get sweeter, it'll flavor the butter and the avocado oil that I have in there. And you want it to turn brown for the most part. Not brown, but charred. So I'm rubbing it all over the pan to get it through all that. This pan's pretty ripping hot. All right, you ready for this, Lyle? We're going to throw this down here.
Let's do that.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. We're going to let that cook while I turn the fire alarm off again. All right. Good deal. All right,
salmon usually cook pretty quick.
Yeah, very quick. You don't want to overcook it because then it's not as tasty. Now, I don't know if you guys are. You see this, Lyle? That looks like a whisk, right?
Yes.
This I got from Amazon for like $6. Look at that.
That's tongs cool.
Just for fish to keep from breaking the fish up.
I probably wouldn't want Brian B having one of them. He'd probably tear them up.
Think so?
I don't know.
I don't know. Just got to include him in the conversation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been quiet the whole show, but he is watching.
Uh-huh.
Lemon will pull off the seasoning on your cast iron pan.
You know what? I'm also cooking with oil and butter, so it's probably a wash, to be honest. And this cast iron here is probably 20 years old, right?
Wow.
So it's been seasoned many a time. It will be fine, but I understand what you're saying. The acid in there probably is not the greatest for it, but I got enough layers of protection on there for it not to matter.
There you go.
You watching this glaze? It's almost looking like it's starting to get candied, Lyle.
It's starting to, yeah.
Now, mind you, if you're going to make this, this is scalding lava hot. Don't stick your thumb in there to taste it.
Oh, come on.
No, don't do that. Do not do that. Do you guys hear this smoke detector going off?
What's that?
I'm guessing you can't hear the smoke detector going off every time.
No, I can't hear it at all.
That's a good deal. I like these earplugs.
Lance says, Jody, if you go to a Chinese buffet and have actual salmon, you're lucky. Normally it's whitefish or tilapia.
Lyle, now I don't mean to brag, but look at that.
Hey, baby, that looks great.
It does look good, doesn't it?
Yep, it does. And basically, that's been what, 3-4 minutes on there?
Yeah,
on
probably
first pass?
3 minutes.
Don't take very long.
Look at the lemon. That's exactly what I want right there.
You're going to slice that off and eat it, right?
No, I'm going to squeeze it into on top of the fish before I put the sauce on it.
Okay.
So let me get a plate here for this. Now watch, for whoever was talking about the lemon taking the finish off of my pan.
Looks pretty
You can
good.
get that butter. You can get that butter to cover that up. It'll season it right again. Boom, no problem. All right. I think this fish is about done, Lyle, to be honest.
It looks pretty good.
We'll give it a second more. But you see how I slid that fish that's got the butter and the oil on it over where the lemon was? That'll season the pan.
I got another text message. Says, tell Justin Wilson to measure his ingredients by hand and tell a story.
I don't know who Justin Wilson is.
He's an old guy that used to do some of the first fish or cooking videos that I ever seen.
All right, Lyle. Let me not burn myself on this cast iron and grab it. All right. Now, can you see the plate, Lyle?
Down a little, please. That helps, but still needs
Hold
to
on.
come down. There we go.
There we go. Bingo, look at that. Now the lemon, squeeze some of that juice on there, however much you like. You know, if you've never done this before with the lemon, you can always sample it like that. Oh, that's good. That is really good. That's pretty darn good, I gotta say. Now the sauce. It's thickened up quite a bit.
Yes, it has.
See how dark that is?
Looks great.
Pour that over the top, cover it up, or make sure you get it all over. Yeah, I made way too much of the sauce. You know, I can jar this up, and this stuff's pretty good to add to like cocktails as well, like as a simple syrup.
Really?
Yeah,
Sweet.
I wouldn't lie to you, but all right. So, Lyle, there's the 3 dishes I made. This one's probably the simplest and the quickest of all of them, right?
It looks amazing.
It looks good though, right? It turned out pretty good. Just got one thing left to do. You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah, taste it.
Taste it. Flaky salmon. There we go. Check that out. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Taste.
Shout out to Mike Chavez. This ain't as easy as it
Absolutely.
looks. Oh my God, that's good too.
I bet. So the 3 dishes that you made tonight, which one do you like the best?
That's like asking me to pick a favorite child, Lyle.
Well, yeah.
They're all delicious in their, if I may
That
say so myself, in their own way.
that bluegill looked so good when you first started,
Mm,
and then you hit the
mm.
catfish, and it looked amazing. And now you're doing salmon, and it looked really, really good too.
Did you say bluegill?
Yeah, I thought that was Sheila's.
No. Oh my goodness. Mm. Oh my God, do I like fish tacos? That's ridiculous.
Crappie Kid says, Chef Mark trying to outdo me.
How do I do,
Crappie,
crappie kid?
we need to get you back on the show with us, Crappie Kid.
Mm. All right, Lyle, what time is it? Did I get all 3 of these done in an hour?
Close. It's 8:17.
Mm. I got a
Pretty
lot
close.
done today. I cooked a lot of food, and every one of them, I'm not even like toting my own horn. You guys know me. I'm not that much of a bragger unless I'm talking to like J Dog or Chad. Them two, all bets are off. But in general, honestly, and this is something that my wife gives me a lot of grief over. She says I'm too hard on my own cooking, and I'll be honest. Each one of these was freaking phenomenal. I mean, I hit it on point today for some reason. Sometimes I'll cook and it won't be as good as others. Nobody has ever complained, but today was ridiculous. I'm going to be like in a food coma tonight after this show.
Wabash Nate said, love the show. Thank you.
Awesome.
Benoit Lady said, toot toot. So
Toot toot. Oh,
I think it was a hit, Mark. You done a great job. It was that salmon looks really
it
good, man.
looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lyle, I think you would approve. I think Betty would be like, she would be so, impressed with this that she couldn't admit it to me. That's what I'm going to
Oh, I
say.
bet that's right. Melissa says it was great. Want more Chef Mark shows.
There we go. Maybe we'll do this every now and then. I do have a couple of chicken quarters, leg and thigh, like I would call them pterodactyl hind quarters, big ones that I'm planning
Okay,
on smoking this weekend. Maybe I'll go live on my
that would be good.
channel. It's the channel I do stupid stuff on, Catfish and Crappie Live.
Crappie Kid says, Chef Mark, job well done. Very nice dishes.
Thank you very much, sir. I need to try this catfish again.
Joe Buck says, awesome show tonight, guys. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Joe. Look at that, Lyle.
Oh, dude.
Mm. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And look at all the coleslaw I got to eat too.
Betty says, bull. It looks amazing. Now get in your truck and bring me some.
Thank you, Betty. I bet you she tries that salmon next time I give her. Actually, she's got some king salmon I gave her. So, Betty, you should try this with king salmon. It works even better with
Thank
king.
you, Chrissy.
But this coho is good. Not the recipe. I'm talking about the fish in general. Lance is
Yeah.
absolutely right. I think coho is probably the best tasting one.
Brian B says, I taught you well, Mark.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, man. Now, I don't cook fish as much as you'd think I do, but when I do, I like to do it a little bougie. What I like to do is I like to barbecue a lot. So I thought about starting a barbecue channel for a long time, but I don't know. I just never did. The problem is it's just me and the wife. If I cook like a 14-pound brisket, who the heck's going to eat it around here?
You'll have to give it away to all your neighbors.
Yeah, when they're $100 for a prime brisket, it's kind of hard to do all
Yeah,
the
I
time.
kind of do that. Melissa says, I'm definitely going to try to make your salmon.
Oh,
Guerrero,
Melissa, you'll like it. You'll love it.
Guerrero says, did those salmon and coho come from waters my way?
Kenosha, Wisconsin, we caught these in.
Betty says, cohos you gave me was phenomenal.
I'm glad you liked them, Betty. Oh my God,
I'd
I
like
can't
to
make it.
see Chef Mark do some pike and walleye next time, Crappie Kid says.
That's on my, you know what? I got Luke Henge's recipe for pickled pike. I really want to try that. I'll tell you what, if I can find like a smaller pike this year on accident, because I don't fish, I don't target them, I will harvest it and we'll do a pickled pike show on here. Lyle, what do you think?
That sounds good to me. Melissa,
All right.
there's no wrong way to say salmon.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
no wrong
Salmon.
way.
Well, I'm glad
Lance,
everybody liked it. I appreciate it.
Lance says Coho is the king of salmon, although it's not named king. And I agree.
This bluegill's pretty freaking good too. And so is it. Oh my God. I
You're
can't
gonna
make up my mind.
man.
I'm proud of myself today.
It all looked great. You done an amazing job presenting the show tonight, Mark. It was really awesome.
Thank you, Lyle. That means a lot to me. Now, can I take off this silly hat and put a ball cap on? Holy smokes, I'm dying in this thing.
You can. We're running on an hour and 22 minutes.
If you guys want to know how to do any of this stuff or need a recipe or you didn't catch something in the show, feel free to message me. Obviously, you know, you can get that Whisker Seekers breading from Whisker Seekers MCC 15. It is really, really good stuff. My biggest, the thing I like to do with any cornbread breading is I like to double and triple coat it because I like it to be nice and crunchy on the outside, super,
Right.
rather than a thin dusting on there. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's a great idea.
it's hard to cook any of this stuff wrong. You can overcook it or undercook it, but just season it to your liking and you're going to be happy. So
Betty says, before you come here, bring me that fish. Stop at your mom's and pick me up some slaw. See you in the
there we go.
morning.
Oh, Betty, that Asian slaw was pretty good. So I have to say,
see you in the morning. Good night.
good night. Good night, Betty. Oh. All right, Lyle. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, bud.
I think they did. Again, thank you so much for a great presentation and very instructional show.
Wait. We almost forgot.
Ice cream?
No. Come here, Lulu. Dee Dee.
Oh, Dee Dee, taste testers.
We got to get to taste testers. Dee Dee, come on. Pop. Can you see this one?
Yes.
All right, let me go get that other one.
If the other one doesn't come, does that mean that one gets both pieces?
This is true. Look how excited she's getting. You see her bouncing around?
Hey, your camera needs to move towards her. Oh, okay. There you go.
Sit. There you go.
Yum, yum.
She approves. Dee Dee, you want some fish? No, she's upstairs with Mama. She ain't coming back up. Okay. Oh, wait, here she comes. Come here, Dee Dee. Look at her, sit. Can you see her?
Yeah, just barely.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Who's trying to take their picture? I think they approve. Those are the real critics right here.
You bet.
My
Melissa
God,
says, pass the test.
It did. I'm never wearing this hat again. Anybody? I'll raffle it off. Someone wants to buy this, I'll even wash it.
I agree with Matt. You should wear it in a live when you're flathead fishing.
I don't know about all that. Speaking of which, I may go live tomorrow, Lyle, for the people that are watching that like to watch my lives. I may. I'm not scheduling anything. I got to see if I can get everything I need done, catch bait, and get out. But I can't make any promises, but I really want to. I had a good time the other night, so I want to do that again.
I hope you do, and let us know if you decide to. Betty says, "Oh, Aunt Betty's girls."
Man, if I had a bell, I would ring it. This stuff tastes so good. My goodness. All right, say good night, Lyle.
Good night, Lyle.
Good night, Mark.
See everybody next week. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.